And so I did a study abroad in the Middle East with Israel and Palestine.
Would you say you're pro-Palestine or pro-Israel?
Pro-Palestine.
As a gay man, I would be punished and or put in prison or killed if I were openly gay in Palestine. How do you react to that?
I didn't know that. So
It is illegal to be gay in Palestine. You are punished by
is it
prison
the
or
same
death.
as Israel?
No, Israel has gay pride. Israel is completely open to lesbian and gay people.
So that's
Palestine puts them in prison or kills them. You weren't aware of that?
I was not aware of that, no. So that does pose an interesting aspect.
Have you seen the Queers for Palestine movement? It's a very common movement, but I don't see any Muslims for queer movements.
Yes. That's where it gets gray, right? Like, that's where I feel
Well,
like...
for me, it's not gray. I am fearful of Islam because there is no Islamic country on earth that embraces me as a gay man.
So, okay, so maybe I'm confused because Israel, which is still an Islam country, right?
No, Jewish.
Okay.
So Israel's Jewish, Palestinians are Islamic.
Okay.
The fact do you think Israel is possibly Muslim? That's wow. The fact that you don't know that Palestine is doing wow. The fact that people can be so passionate for something that they don't even believe that will be deleted is surprising.
Y'all, everybody keeps asking who that is in my pictures and stuff. Because, like, I'll post this picture sometimes. Y'all, this is me in 2021. So, 3 years ago. That was me.
I feel very sad for these people, don't know how they identify. All I can say is I think the fathers failed them, at least, because you only would want so much validations if you didn't get validation.
What do you want? Tell me what you want with your son.
I mean, I don't necessarily have any expectations for him outside of, raising him to be a good person. Mm-hmm. I feel that at this point in his life, she does that best. And when he gets older, he's going to need guidance. And at that point, that would be when I step in as a dad. And
what age are you thinking that is good for him?
I don't know, probably around middle school, high school.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of that?
Your son needs you every day. It's the day-to-day things now that will allow for those things to be possible.
I made that same face like, you want to start like that late? But I felt there was a plot twist.
I was taught and raised to believe that, like, raising a kid at this age is the woman's domain.
By who?
So...
Can you say something about that?
My parents, they separated when I was 12 years old.
Oh, so your mom. It's a trap! But do we validate that personal experience at the same level as your wife?
I had a stronger relationship with my father as a kid than I did with my mom. When, they separated and, he went his own way. I was in middle school and, he wasn't around. I navigated the world on my own in a sense because there were certain things that I couldn't speak to my mom about. Mm-hmm. So I see that the father's, time to shine is at that age because that's the age I was where I felt I needed that guidance.
I see. So that's why you're focusing on that age.
Yeah, so I'm not saying that
maybe you're kind of taking for granted the early years.
I want to be a dad that is present. Mm-hmm. And I don't really know how much impact I'm having or not having right now.
Yeah.
Because I'm not around him enough to really know.
Right. Well, we have to stop, but let's stay with this. I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out.
Okay. Do you want to try to stay at the house a couple of days?
That sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
You saw the mom's face. She had like, hey, I can finally get him at the house about the things. So it's the chore. It's not guidance. I'm not trying to be annoying pointing out that she's lazy, but I've experienced the same thing, and I know men that experience the same thing. If a man has to take care of a child, it's just a little rougher sometimes. We like to say one no because this happens over with all the men. Wife says no so many times because it's sweet and empathetic. Men say no and there's always a consequence. I remove the place and something like. It's a way different thing. But certain moms do not like that. And there's a difference in opinion. That's why most men, you know what? You do that. I'll do my part when I have the opportunity.
Bye, have a great time.
And this guy had the opportunity to speak with his father alone when mommy wasn't there. Now he has a bigger bond with the daddy. And that doesn't make sense to certain people. Some dads are really good fathers. They just don't get the opportunity. Or you're single with a mom that tells you moms are the better in the beginning. She said that, and now he is being judged because a lady taught him that. How does that make sense?
Is this camera on me?
Yes, it's on.
That's stupid. Use your common sense.
This is why Western women is mad, because look at her. She's pretty and she's a housewife and she takes care of 2 kids.
It's not our fault. They didn't even say that we steal their men. No, we don't steal your men. Do your men come in here?
Low blows. They're just clowning Western women right now.
These ladies are just being happy with a natural body. You can keep telling people they're controlled by their man. I'm like, yeah. Or maybe they're happy with their body and not controlled by the outside attention that they're getting. Maybe.
Happy Pride to all of our wonderful families and friends. This month and every month I celebrate you. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're exactly who you are. To those who are going to comment they can't watch the show anymore because of the support, no worries and much love your way. God bless. I am not chasing fame or views. I'm standing strong in love.
You're not chasing fame and views? I mean, 85 million, 79 million, 41 million, 28 million, 32 million, 138 million, 134 million, 200... Oh, you have all the views, but it's okay.
34, 34, 34, 34, 34, 34, 34, 34, guilty. ¡Ay, qué rico! ¡Oh, qué rico! ¡Pa carajo!
They could, the judge could decide to say, hey, house arrest or even jail.
It could.
How do you face what that could be?
I'm okay with it. I saw one of my lawyers the other day on television saying, oh, no, you don't want to do that to the president. I said, you don't beg for anything. You just, the way it is.
Now, I have one, and Karen, let me start with you, which is, what exactly
Trump is guilty!
Right now, we know sentencing is going to be July 11th.
Motherfucker, go to jail!
Because if you laugh at it when you see it in the beginning, it might bounce back.
And amazing accomplishments, actually.
Thanks.
And you do it all without having to jail your political opponents, which I loved in the speech yesterday.
Exactly.
They're able to video because there's no more crime. You don't have to throw them in jail. Everyone wins.
We don't jail their opposition.
It's amazing. I know Salvadorian people that go visit their country. They're like, what? I want to go back. I don't want to be a migrant in Europe. And now Bukit is like, hey, yeah, we arrest criminals, but we don't arrest our political opponents.
All my life I had to walk around with this wet-ass coochie. What? WCD. No! Also known as wet coochie disorder, affects hundreds of women around the world, hundreds of bed sheets, and hundreds of mattresses. What many would see as a blessing can turn into a nightmare, especially...
This is one of the most disgusting videos that I have ever seen. I'm sorry that I even have to post this, but something needs to be said. I get sent video after video every single day, just like this, filmed at the gym. This woman, who I had to cover up, sticks her hand down her pants to expose and touch herself, then uses that same hand to go and lift that dumbbell. And all for what? So you could sell more subscriptions for your OF account? Seriously? And listen, I have nothing against OF. You make money how you want, but keep it out of the gym. And if you can't have any self-respect or dignity, at least have some respect for the equipment that other people in that gym have to use. If you ask me, no gym should give you a membership after this video.
Or we should normalize that I can scratch my ball wherever I want and you cannot say anything. You make me want segregation. I mean, and I don't want that. Now I'm going to think if I go to the gym, does it smell like the ocean? That's what we do. We go to the gym and train.
I've shared prayers on here before and said God bless, and that's because my faith is really important to me. And it's also one reason why I love every neighbor. In Matthew 22, a religious teacher asked Jesus, what's the most important commandment? And Jesus says to love God and to love your neighbor as yourself. All the law and the prophets hang on these two commandments. There's no greater commandments than these. I believe it's mentioned 8 times, love your neighbor. So yes, everyone belongs, everyone's welcome, everyone is treated with empathy and respect. It doesn't say love every neighbor except. There are so many reasons I stand strong in love. I stand with everyone. That's who I am. And the love back and the God bless if you disagree is genuine.
I don't even have to go to the Bible to say you're wrong, because what you're saying is you need to love no matter what. It's a beautiful thing, but if you're going to indulge into sin, I'm like, bruh, that's not the right thing. And prideful? Pride is when you think you're better than somebody else, and now you want to celebrate it?
Why are they so mad? Jesus. I thought it was about pride, good emotions.
Do not engage with the police, don't engage with
Look how crazy this person is. This is a fan of mine, get away from me.
Causing problems.
How am I causing problems? Now you're just being a stalker, sir. Now you're just stalking.
Are you stalking a trans woman,
Stalker,
sir?
no stalking. It's just weird. If you film people just because they're conservative, that's like some weird shit. You're on some goofy shit, sir. A grown goofy.
You know what this reminds me of? Is when I was a little kid and I really liked a girl, but I didn't know how to approach the girl. So I annoyed them so much they started hating me. If you were wondering what he said, nothing and no one can prevent the possibility that he is gay, and when he grows up, he gets tired of sucking black cock. And yes, freedom of speech is a very unique thing. I just thought it was rather odd when you said it when he posted a picture of his baby. And he rubbed it in with a lot of salt because he told me he's going to suck the blue collar black pee-pee, not the footballer.
Ahora, ¿qué decías que iba a comer un negro? Mi hijo que iba a comer pollas, con 3 meses, basura, ¿ahora qué? Dímelo, dímelo a la cara, aquí ahora, dímelo ahora. Perdonad, lo siento, os pido perdón, os pido perdón. Soy únicamente un padre que defiende a sus hijos. Ha hecho comentarios sexualizantes de mi hijo de 3 meses. Y eso tiene sus consecuencias. No, ahora vas y me denuncias. Ya está. Es que mira, es que te
Comedian Jaime Caravaca gets clocked by a right-wing activist Alberto Pugilato after making alleged comments about the 3-month-old son. Look man, I don't condone this, but I miss the old times when kids were off the table. We had at least that kind of respect.
Don't get me wrong, makosa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde kush hash purple skunk criollo colombici jam jam. Durloqueta verdeta welcome.